what's up, everybody? It's GleeCon, and I'm back again. Thank you for joining me on another episode. It's Tuesday, so that means we're going to be doing an episode of lore of Final Fantasy. It's also Veterans Day, so salute to all of you that have served. Not an easy job, for sure. All right, we have done 2 episodes of Final Fantasy 1 so far. The first one we kind of just got going. I talk a lot on these episodes, and that will like plan out. That'll tamp down a little bit as we continue, finish looking at a lot of the things I've been going over, like some of the differences in the versions of Final Fantasy 1, some of the mechanics of the game. And we got to level 3, and then on the last episode we went up and defeated Garland, I think his name is, the guy that was holding the kind of intro boss, the intro princess captive, and that opened up a bridge which allowed us to walk east until we made it to this pirate town, because to really open up the world, so say the villagers, we need a ship, and the ship is being held by pirates. And these are the pirates. We're about to fight them right now. If you look at the guide, it really just talks about, like, it's not too bad. We should just be able to wipe them out. We can cast sleep if we want to incapacitate them if we want to. And after we do this, it's going to open up the ship, the town. We can talk through the different townspeople, and then we're going to travel around and get to level 10 in the seas, and then we're going to use that XP and gold to finish buying the little bit of things that are left in this town. So here we go. Stay a while and listen. We will also be continuing to look at the differences and the different stuff in the game. Okay. His name is Bicky, or Bike. I think it's Bicky, or Bick.
You've got cannonballs of steel to be taken on the great pirate Bicky. Keel haul 'em, boys.
I got cannonballs of steel.
Aye, aye, Captain. We'll make their bones go crunch.
Ridiculous. Alright, so we're going to cast this. Let's try the different casters. We could magic and sleep them. Put all foes to sleep. Okay, let's try it. 3 hits. Love it. 2. We're just gonna slice these fools. Ow, you jerk. Okay, ooh, that one hurts more. Ow. Who fell asleep? Let's find out. Okay, so... you jerk. So, oh, he didn't wake up from that, though. Okay, so we're gonna take out dudes that cannot be awake, or dudes that are awake. Why? How dare you? I can't believe the awake guys are getting to go first. That's just not fair. Oh, look at that crit he had. Oh, that one woke up. Guess it doesn't really matter at this point, then. Slice. Okay, now that the wake one is up. Oh, he took that one out. Alright, let's see what happens if we accidentally wake people up or not. Well, okay. Alright, so we took some hits here, but we didn't actually fight Bicky. Just fought his whole crew. Dead. Pirates are dead. Oh, man.
I'd be most sorry, young masters. I'd be making no more fuss, I swear. I want you to take me ship for your troubles. Can you find it in your heart to forgive an old pirate?
We obtain a ship. Fantastic. Okay, so now we should be able to walk around. Now the town is open again. They say there are elves living across the sea, but the elf prince has fallen into a deep sleep and hasn't woken up. We've had multiple people talk about that, so that's probably where we're going next. Find this elf. Because of you, we needn't fear the pirates anymore. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I Bicky slapped him. Alright, yes, don't pay attention. Don't be overwhelmed by my awesome humor. What's he say now?
I've had myself a change of heart. I plan to buckle down and be the hardest worker in town. You believe me, don't you?
No. You're like a bad, like, I feel like a child's anime, like an Avatar villain. Because of you, okay, that is another kid. Oh, what's going on with some loading of the RAM? Oh, Mohawk Man, what do you say? I don't think there are any ports to the north. A ship can only make landfall at a port, you know. Alright, so basically, they're letting you know this didn't really... I can't remember how to do it. There was a button. How you open up the map? What does it say? It's B and select, and I don't remember which button. B for me is this one. What button was select for me? There we go. Alright, so you can see these little white things are ports. So when we go out here, we're going to be kind of in this bay. So we could hypothetically come over here. We could wrap around and go to this area. We'll have opened up this little area by this crescent. If we wanted to, I think we're locked. We can't go inside. Maybe we could. If we... I don't know if you can take a ship from any port or if you have to pick it where you left off. If we're opening up... Yeah, actually the port is right there. So if that's a channel, which I don't know, we'll look at that in a minute. There are many monsters in the Aldean Sea. Be careful, just letting you know, hey, you're gonna get in fights if you walk around there. I don't really need to go to the inn yet. I fled here from Malmond, a town far to the west. It is a truly pitiable sight. The earth rots, monsters attack in the night. There's nothing you can do to help, so I would be writing down in my notebook, oh, there is another town called Melmond far to the west. And we still need that. That's another simp. Alright, so what do we have here for our characters? Let's see what kind of magic they have. Alright, so we still need one more spell for her. I think they were 250 each. Yeah, they're 250 each. And he needs all three. Okay, so we need 1,000 for our magic still. I think our dude, does he have his weapon? He has a rapier, so he does not have his weapon yet. Something's happening. He has a scimitar, which I think that is the one. Yeah, he has his. So he can get a broadsword or battle axe. So anyway, so that's 1,450. And then I think his 640 plate mail. I think that's all he needs. So we basically need just over 2,000 gold. Gil. I also don't know exactly where we at. We're at 500, so 1,500 more. And I want us to get to level 10. Yeah, so we're going to go on the inner sea. So there's this little bay. Let's just explore and see what can we accomplish here. Okay, a shark. I'm just going to go... I think thunder is really good for sharks. 55. Ooh, he missed. Ow. Okay, so we did about 120-ish damage. So, just under 200 life they probably have. Flea Man raised level, so he gained a little HP. He's going to be a little faster, so maybe he can get the 3 hits. Flea Con raised the level. He gained much more HP. Strength, so he's going to do a little more damage with his strikes. And agility, he's already at 3 strikes. Fleazy gained a level. She gained a nice HP boost. And a small bit of MP. And strength, so her hammer will do more damage. And stamina. I don't even remember what that does. And luck. So she has a better chance of running away. And Glebo gained a level. 1 HP. A little bit of MP. Stam. What does stam do again? I want to look that up. If we are looking at, I want to find what that one. Yeah, what's stam do? Endurance, vitality, reduce the amount of damage. So it's kind of like armor. Yeah. Okay. So it's like natural armor. Cool. I guess while we're here, let's take a look. So we're going to also discuss the different classes as we go through. So there are 4, you get to have 4 characters as we see. And there are warriors, monks, thieves, black mages, white mages, and red mages. So it's 6. You can only have 4 of 6. You can upgrade them eventually. Warriors into knights, monks into masters, thieves into ninjas, black mages into black wizards, white mages into white wizards, and red mages into red wizards. It will make them look cooler. They'll be able to expand their equipment list, and they'll be able to learn higher level spells, and some things, for instance, the ninja will now be able to learn some spells. They have an ideal weapon and armor config once you've obtained the class change. This config, for instance, dragon armor is best for the knight, but you can only find 1. So if you have 2 knights, you'll have to determine who gets that 1. We don't have that. Okay, and we will go back and we'll look at the different actual classes from time to time and what they do, and that's kind of what we do on this game. All right, so what level did that even put us at? Level 7. How are we doing on life? Okay, we're okay. Alright, so what is even open? What did we really truly unlock? So... Where's that cursor? I don't know how to make it scrolled. I don't know what button this is. Let's move this like over there. Okay. So it doesn't look like that channel is real. So the only thing it looks like it's opened up this dock right here, which Castle Cornelia was okay. So it's opened up this dock by Castle Cornelia. It has opened up this dock over here, which is by the Chaos Shrine. So those areas may or may not have been opened before. We're going to kind of peek at them right now. Most importantly, it has opened up this... Yeah, that's the Earth Gift Shrine. So it looks like it's maybe opened up 2 areas. Down south here, wherever this is, it's a castle, so that's maybe the Elven Kingdom. And it has opened up this little area right here. So let's go explore and see what they're like while we're out here in the world. Okay, so this is swampland. I feel like we walked over here. Okay, so this is the bridge. We can sail underneath the bridge, so that's good to know. Alright, so this was the initial dock. Over the land bridge. Okay. So this little bridge right here, we were able to go under. So that does open up this little dock. Which, that was the Witch Matoya. So up there. So not really super duper useful. Okay. Yeah, just like a little mini shortcut. Okay, here we have a shortcut now to our main castle. So this is where it says, oh, go ahead and save some money and rest there. That's the kind of thing I don't worry about. What am I going to do? Okay, then if we continue sailing up along the coast up here, here is this new dock up here. I don't know if, where was that before? So before we could get up there, so this is new. So you have this land with that little lake right there. That's new. That wasn't available before. We're just not getting in any fights. This will help us get into the outer world when we get a Sah again. Now, can you really use thunder? you can't really use it, then... I mean, whatever, I guess I'll use one. Okay, because they're doing some pretty okay damage. Ow. Ow. I need to save after this. Save it up. Ooh, that did not hit him really good. Oh no, and now he wasted it. I should have given that to somebody else. I'll give her a cure. She's gonna cure him because I feel like... Oh, he's gonna get taken down if he gets some bad luck. Okay, he's crushing him. Oof, thank goodness. Thank goodness they went after him. I didn't even... These guys are tough. Alright, now everybody can go on attack mode. You dead. Hammer to the face. I was gonna say that one guy already took a pretty good hit. Okay, 180 gil. Not too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and cure him. Cure herself. Now that I see it's somewhere in the 35 range, we can just keep an eye on that. And Black Mage's Alright, so that is once we get a boat. Once we get a boat, that will be a way out into the outer world, out from this inner sea, once we get the canoe. Okay, good to know. Right there. So we have one new path to the north. We have some ways through once we get the canoe. Yeah, I don't know how... Oof. Bro. 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 What was that? A 12-point doo-doo strike? That's... They're doing... Thank goodness he dodged one. I gotta make the rogue attack his own thing. Because it's too good. It's just too good. Good, he dodged it. Look at my black mage double dodging. Easy. Nice. What is this guy's problem? Who even are you? What even is this world? 18 damage? I guess their whatchamacallit, like dodge is just so much better than his. Alright, so we've gotten 360. Where are we at? Okay. Alright, so now we're on the south. I'm just doing like a cartographer's journey here. Here's a little peninsula. Alright, here's the southern entrance. So the only thing, we've gained a northern entrance, which will really get us to the lands to the west. Oh, what is this? We have another river. So that would be a way for us to get in, another way to get out, but also to get around the crescent world. Seems less important because if we can get out, we can get in there from the other side, and I believe that also requires the canoe. So we see two places that our life has opened up, to the west and to the south. This is Pirate Town where we were at. Alright, so now we're just going to sail around and try to find... I don't know that this sailing, there's so much space. Ooh, what is this? A Sahuagin chief? I'm going to put her on cure duty, I guess. We're just going to keep going until his magic is... I mean, the guy is a tank, though. Ooh, yikes. Oh, he one-shotted the Sahuagin chief. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, she would have done that inside a fight, outside a fight. You stinker. Alright, shark dead. Gold, not that great, but... Alright, I think this calls for looking at some of our stuff. Oh. There we go. Let's do a save state just in case, because it feels like it's kind of acting up a little bit. Alright, let's look here. the warrior or knight. So they were originally called fighters. So this is the original fighter. He gets in the original knight. It looks like he just gets a little more Chadley originally. And then in the warrior tonight, he gets like some armor and helmet once you get 16-bit. So A tier HP and strength. B tier agility, endurance, damage, accuracy, evasion. And then like D tier luck, and F he has no intelligence or magic because they're useless to him. So he has high hit points in defense and strength. They can equip pretty much everything. They take some of the burden of healing because he's basically invincible. He gets all of the best stuff. By far the best class in the older versions because it has the most consistent damage output and great survivability. The survivability is what makes it. And once you become a knight, you also get some white magic. Best armor, weapons, hit rate. Yeah. Okay, and highest number of hits ultimately. Cumbersome armor eventually reduces evasion, but it doesn't affect your turn order, so he can go pretty fast. All right, and just weak white magic. If you have more than one, they're expensive. Okay. And when they get upgraded, more weapons and armor, and they can use some low-level white magic. Like he'll be able to poison and heal, or heal poison. They are, the only difference is the one that we're playing now. They're essentially nerfed because all the other classes got buffed. Nothing got happened to the knight. They already felt he was too powerful. He has the potential for the greatest damage, except for endgame master, and the highest survivability. And something that does 80 or more damage to the knight still only will do one. I mean, to other people, it still only do 1 damage. They have a good agility, evasion. You can use them for healing minor wounds to save your white wizard's magic points. Strongest class by far. But expensive. Yeah, so it says late game other classes can compete for damage, but nothing can compare that with the survivability. Strongest parties have 2 of them. So you can get Excalibur for his weapon, healing helm on the head, dragon armor on the body, an Aegis shield on the hand, and a protect ring on the arm. Could argue that Masamune is best for the knight, but the Excalibur gives status enhancements against all enemies, so undead mages, etc. It's usually best to give Masamune to someone else. The healing helm is not as tough as the diamond helmet, but it gives you the ability to heal your entire party during battle. Dragon armor protects against all elemental attacks. It's like a diamond armor with a ribbon built in. The Aegis shield is necessary because the ribbon protects against most. Dragon armor does not. The protection ring is as good as any gauntlet, but also protects you from instant death. So for like mind flayers. All right, cool. All right, back into the game. All right, let's sail around a little bit more. We're gonna sail until we. I wanted to sail till we're level 10, but really, I feel like not that much. I take it. Yes. Oh, they killed him! Yikes. That was bad luck. Lee Man raised the level. He doesn't gain. Let's do a load state there. That's good because we literally just saved. And we know we're gonna level up from this fight, so she just has to protect him. It wasn't even like he was at low life. He just took like 60 damage in 2 hits. Okay, so we're gonna get a different fight. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we get better luck this time. Oh, I think he blocked it with his little shield. That's cool. Oh. Okay, so he's up to 2 hits against the Sahagins now, with a higher agility. Honestly, the only reason why I did the load state is because I didn't want him to miss out on the XP when it was just bad RNG. You stinker. So we're getting saves, Gummy. We're gonna be you. What was that? Okay. Alright, so what do we get out of this? This is gonna bring us to level 8. They're 180 gil. But that time, that was not as much XP as the shark. Gotcha. We're gonna do one more fight, and then we're gonna look at the differences in one of the other Final Fantasies. This is what part of this game is, just the grind of being... What did I say I needed? We need like 20, let's say 2200 gil. Come on. That's another thing we're going to do coming up in the near future. We will look at the Final Fantasy, the soundtracks. We'll look at the original soundtracks. We'll have to kind of do that as we do some other things. Alright. Should she heal? No. You jerk. See, these guys are at least, like, not like that shark. That's rough. Even that 29 is... Okay, so we're gonna have her use Cure on him, even though he is within that threshold. I don't want to use it. Yeah, look at that. They all went to the tank. Why did the mage go first? Idiot. Sprinkles. Okay, cool. And now we get to attack. What the heck? Oh, nice crit. Love it. Okay, so Glee Man got a big nice boost to HP and strength. Glee Khan, a nice boost to HP and strength. And intelligence, that'll help when he becomes a ninja. And luck, so he's the best runner. Old Gleezy gained a nice boost to HP. A little bit of MP. She's faster now. And a little bit more effectiveness. Oh, and toughness. And luck, so she got across the board. Where Gleebo got a nice boost to HP. He needs it. Nice boost to MP, intelligence. Oh, and we got a potion? Yes, please. Okay, so a couple things here. So, go ahead and sort that. Good. Oh, we do have a 10. We're level 8 now. Let's save this regularly. Okay. We're also going to do a save state on this bad boy. And let's take a look at one of the differences in the game. Okay, so we're up to Dawn of Souls, which is close to the one we're playing right now for just about all intents and purposes. It's the one we're playing. This is called Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Dawn of Souls. So what are some of the differences that came? So first of all, this was released in July of 04. And it came out a little later that year for the rest of the world on Game Boy Advanced. It's based off of the easy mode from previous versions, and there's no option. So what we're playing right now is absolutely an easy version of the game. Also, like one of the other minor kind of buffs to you is that when you are ineffective, there's no like redirection. You can't just sometimes miss your target, basically. There's further polish on the localization, as you can tell from some of the silly things that we're reading. Better visuals. So there's a brighter palette. So it's a combination. So they're taking that old brighter palette from the WonderSwan port and now putting it with the better visuals. As you can see, actually we're playing the max visual version. Um, Now spell level system has been dropped for magic points. As you can see, we've been playing with magic points. So instead of you get a couple points of each level, um, you we now spend from a pool of magic points, which I feel like that's a negligible difference, and I like it better. Many new items, including the Phoenix Down, are introduced, and now you can also get items from enemies. So that was never a thing. Like we just gained that potion, that was never a thing before. The art gallery and item collection have been omitted, but the bestiary remains the same. So later on, when we look at this, there will come a time, and it actually won't be during this game, but when we look at this bundle, the Dawn of Souls bundle, we will go back and actually review the art gallery and all of the bestiary and all of that stuff. That's part of this spreadsheet that I've been building out, which I'm only up to 2003, and we already have 79 entries. It takes us to Final Fantasy 11 online, and that's where the game really explodes. That's where we start to reach real market saturation, right? In my opinion, it's kind of where I fell off the Final Fantasy franchise. I was a little bit young for Final Fantasy 1 and 2 in their original heyday. 3 didn't exist for me back then. I really didn't come in. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 4, which was released as 2, and it was fun. I remember renting it from Blockbuster Video. And then Final Fantasy, so I did like it and was already a big fan. And I did play Final Fantasy 1 on Nintendo. It just, I was a little younger then, in old 1987. That would have dropped when I was 5 years old. So a little bit, by the time it probably reached me, I was probably 7, 8. By the time I actually had a Nintendo, probably 5 years later. So I was probably, 9, 10 years old when I was playing it. Then by the time this one came out, okay, well, by the time it actually got to America and then got into my hands, I'm probably getting close to middle school. And I did play it, like I said. And 5 didn't originally release over here. And 6 and 7. Now, those two came out back to back with nothing in between. What a freaking heyday. This is where the company that made Final Fantasy was standing on business. Screw all the side crap. We're not making soundtracks right away. We're not focusing on manga. We're just going to drop arguably the 2 best games in the franchise and 2 of the best games in the history of entire gaming. We're going to have a 3-year break in between those 2 games, and we're not doing anything other than working on those 2 games. And what was the result? It cemented the Final Fantasy series as revolutionary for the next 30 plus years. A lesson to be learned? Maybe, but they're not going to get on that. They're not going to, it's just, do you cash in on that payday for as long as you can? Or do you continue trying to make new, better ones? They then saturated. Although I have to say, shortly after they dropped Final Fantasy Tactics, also one of the best games of all time. But then it starts getting crazy because all the companion books start dropping, Chocobo series, yada, yada, yada. And I played 8 a lot. 8 started to kind of hit, that was my peak fandom because you're coming off of 6 and 7, building up into me being an older teen. I played a lot of 8, very big game. And I really loved 9. This was still peak fandom for me. And I played entirely too much Final Fantasy X. I feel about Final Fantasy X the way I do about Tactics, where I probably played it too much. And I'm actually, even though those 2 games are both pretty good, I'm not looking forward to playing either one. Like, I just played them so much in my life. And then that's it. When 11 came out and it required online, I think I played it once or twice, but I was not very equipped to game online at this point in time when it dropped out. It also came this peak 2002. That was like my peak brokest, just starting college years. I wasn't equipped, and by the time I got around to playing it, look at all the things that are happening. That drops in 02, and it's not for another couple years. I think it wasn't until 06 that 12 came out. And I did play 12, but that's essentially my entire college years were being tethered to playing. And I wasn't into the massively, at that point in time, you see me, by the time I'm getting equipped with an internet, I'm switching over to playing World of Warcraft, which is what the show's all about. Anyway, that was quite an aside there. Let's go back to looking at the Dawn of Souls. And we will, so anyway, if you look back at that, at my spreadsheet here, there are these little gray ones, like the Final Fantasy Collection, Final Fantasy Anthology. There will be a Final Fantasy Origins. Each of those are grayed because I'm not going to play them because we will have already played the games, but we will be looking at the differences or any bonus content that was with it. And at that point in time, we'll come back and look at this art gallery. A couple other things about the game before we move on. Thief and Monk are better. Red Mage has been nerfed. Stat growth has been altered. And intelligence now affects weapon-based magic spells. And an intelligence bug is fixed. You also start with a little bit more gold. You can now sprint. Little bit better, like always sprinting. You can now save all the time. There is additional further HP on mobs. When you select a job, you can also do a random naming if you want, and they give you names of characters from Final Fantasy 3 through 6, and a few from 9. So that's kind of neat. Obviously, Final Fantasy 1 and 2, there must not have been names to the characters because they're not options. They also entered the 4 Soul of Chaos dungeons. We will be playing these. And the level cap is now up to 99. Fine. We're going to be at least level 50 before we start taking on the Soul of Chaos dungeons, I believe. And then they fixed the critical hit bug. So it says, what is the critical hit bug? Instead of loading the weapon's originally programmed crit rate, it would load the weapon's index number. The practical effect was that crits were less common at the beginning of the game and substantially more common at the end of the game. There is also an intelligence bug. So it's a game-changing bug. So they fixed it. So basically, because those items in the beginning had early index numbers, their crits were lower, and the end game ones had later one, so they had much higher crits. What was the intelligence bug? There is no line of code in the game that references their intelligence outside of increasing it on leveling up. So because we don't know how it was meant to function, it was supposed to factor how much damaging a healing would do. Because it has no effect, the red mage can use cure just as well as the white mage. It also means that magic spells never become more powerful. Gotcha. So it meant that magic... I do remember originally when I played this game that I just didn't care about magic. Like, I'm like, screw it. I'll just attack all the time. Okay, cool. And that's it. So we will look at mobile phone editions in a few. But let's go back to the game. Oops. Okay. Alright, so by the way, we are level 8 now. I wanted to get us to level 10. How are we doing on life? Let's use... When one of these people run out of magic. Yeah, I'm just kind of topping everybody off if I feel like they can. So I wonder if they fix that bug, does that mean that magic gets more powerful as you level up? That's interesting that they were like, yeah, let's make magic a thing and then intelligence a thing, but then, whoa, it brought my save file up. Okay. Alright, you bozos. We're gonna go... Ow. What the heck? They're... Ow. Why do they all get to go first? They suck. Why does she miss? Okay. 65. Alright. Alright, I think with only 2. Yeah, he dodged. I think we're going to be okay to just go on. Oh, he missed. Alright, cool. Not a lot. Not a lot of... She's going to do some more healing. Yeah, let's give him another one. She's taking some big hits to the face. She's getting close to running out of magic. 18 cups. He's not, though. Black Mage isn't. I want to fight more of those sharks. I think the sharks are giving us better. Why does it keep doing that? Why does it keep jumping? Oh. Okay. I think he can do Sahuagin Chiefs. Ow. Ow. Yeah. Get off me. Look at this. We're having a great defensive showing. He's tanking it. Haha. That's right. Okay, so we took one down. Love it. Great. And I'm gonna make him use another one too, since we had so many this time. He's still up there tanking. He dodged. Cool. He's in their face. He's like, oh, he took one. Nice, my thief in the way. Oh, he took 2 damage.
Unacceptable.
Okay, nice. He's just putting in work today on this tanking front. That's kind of a waste. Nice. Yeah, how do you like that hammer to the face, you idiot? No. Alright, so that big old fight, and we barely had to do anything. We're not gonna have to... Nice. There's 400 gold. Love it. That's a good amount of money. That was a lot of money. Alright, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at one thing on the... Let's look at the Thief or Ninja. Okay, so originally they were very weak and stayed that way forever. The Ninja became a massive improvement, getting more weapons, armor, magic, but even as the Ninja, they just were never as good as the Knight, because the Knight had more HP, more damage, more defense, more accuracy. The only thing that was good was that they could fight almost as good and have temper and haste. Once you hit where we're at, they start to be decent alternatives, and then eventually become very, very competent. So, originally the agility didn't affect hit, accuracy, or turn speed. The only thing it did was give you higher evasion. However, now it's even more evasion, more accuracy, and more turn speed, meaning it becomes the best stat in the game, right? So now the Thief and Ninja, and look at them. Originally, they looked ridiculous. They looked like a cosplay halfling, and then they become like a foot soldier from Ninja Turtles. And now they look like a typical Final Fantasy Tactics era thief, and Ninja, like this is SNES era. They look much cooler. They look like what we're used to do. Okay, so they get the highest evasion in the game. They pretty much never miss, eventually. Other than the monk, they have the most hits, so they're going to be hit. And now it's no longer a straight out class. The thief has higher accuracy, evasion, and more hits. And even though their weapons might be a little bit worse, they can kind of bring it pretty close. Luck was bugged, so it didn't help them run away. So originally there was a luck bug, and considering that luck is what he is the best at, that means you no longer get a boost to running from battles. But that's also fixed. So now they're the best at running away because they go first pretty much, and you have them run away. It's also important to note that only the frontmost party member's luck has effect on whether you get preemptive strike. it's not a worthwhile trade-off. And eventually, because you'd have to put your thief as your tank, basically. They get level 1 to 4 black magic. Okay, so they are A tier in evasion, luck, and agility. So they get an extra one, but the two of them are kind of meh. Then they are B tier in accuracy. So they're average in overall damage, strength, and HP. And then they're kind of D at endurance, intelligence, and magic. They're not terrible at anything. So they're the best at evading. They can use haste and temper. And they can equip more. Ninjas can equip more weapons than knights. And second place to armor. Wow. Okay, so with only medium HP and mid armor, if they have a bad RNG, they can be wiped out. They're not great against magic, but more often than not, they're going to succumb to status effects. They have much worse HP than the knights and maybe even white wizards. So that means they're poor survivability. Oh, and their damage output is lower than every other class except for white mage. So if you wanted to go pure nuke, they're not very useful early game, and they're mid later on. The upgrades now, as ninjas, they can get better. They're buffed significantly in every way imaginable. They're no longer considered the worst class in the game. Now they are consistently, their damage is right up there with warriors. The NES Thief was so bad, some considered it a means of playing the game on hard mode. If you're playing a remake, they are a good second, especially when you put them with the knight. Don't put them in the front, because even the ninja can't take a lot of damage. You're going to be grinding a lot. Yeah, so they're saying the major use of why you would have them instead of a second knight is because when they eventually learn haste and temper, that's dope. You need either them to have it or the red wizards to have it. And it's significantly cheaper on the grind. And despite the name, they can never steal. So Sasuke's blade with a ribbon on their head, a diamond armlet, an ice shield, and a protection ring. Again, you could argue that Masamune is the best, but Sasuke's blade... Okay, it says for the ideal party, you might have to consider giving to Masamune to someone else. You could give the ninja the heal helmet, but then you lose the ribbon. You could attempt to compensate with flame armor, but you're still vulnerable to gas lightning and stoning. Diamond armlet is strongest protection with the lowest weight. Ice and flame shield are the same, but don't give you no additional magic protection if you have ribbon. Fire attacks are more likely before ribbon. And so ice shield protects against fire. It will greatly help you against Rakshasa. The protection ring is as good as gauntlet, but it is protection against instant death. So, okay. So now, I don't know where Masamune, it says... Sasuke's blade doesn't offer status enhancements. Yeah, so okay, so Masamune could be better. They're saying you should give Excalibur to the knight, so he might actually not need to use Sasuke's blade. He might need Masamune. All right, cool. Back we go into the grind. Try to get to level 10. The goal is to get to level 10 today, and then maybe we'll have some time to go beyond. With today being a government holiday, I have the day off. Nice. Here we go. That's a shark. Here we go. Why would you bite my feet, son of a biscuit? I just learned that what I just did there with that son of a biscuit, that's called sissy cussing or something like that. And that some people hate it. I never knew that until like yesterday. YIL. That sissy cussing was a thing. I feel like it's a nice alternative, but I guess the argument is that we all know what you're really trying to do. So you're not clever or cute by fake cussing, fake swearing, fake cursing, fake oathing, whatever you want to call it. I just feel like it's... maybe it's the dad in me, having raised 4 kids. That was funny. I was driving out to the family dinner the other night, last Friday, a few nights ago. Man, what a bad... We just got bad luck. We just got basically preemptive striked by the enemies, so that was lame. They're chewing us up a little bit here. At least my tank is taking a solid portion. Dang it, that's the one I went for light. It's kind of a waste. Alright, 2 Sahagins. But, when I used to listen to the radio or whatever, music in the car with the kids when they were young and growing up, I would always quickly turn down the volume whenever there was about to be a bad word if I knew it was coming up. And I completely forgot about that. And I would just like not sing that word. And if I missed it, I would be like, oops. Like, I would make a big deal out of it or whatever. I hadn't thought about that in a long time, but when I was driving, we went out to dinner and some of my bigger kids, everybody was in the back seat. Ooh, that black page is shape right now. So I guess maybe it was like a nostalgic thing for them, because they're older, you know, and for them to... I decided to risk it. It worked out. There was songs on the radio, and it made them think of it. They're like talking about when Dad would turn down the music, so that curse words didn't come through. All right, we're getting pretty close to needing to go rest up. And while we're there, we're also, I think we should probably have enough. Yeah, we're over our gill amount, so we... Actually, you know what? Let's go rest up right now after this one. What the heck is that? A Big Eyes. He paralyzed me. Lame. Okay, he was gonna be my... He was gonna be my nuking damage. Well, I don't know what these guys... Oh, why are you trying to... Oh, no. So, they've now paralyzed... Oh, their defense is really weak. Okay. That's good. Well, I would have gone for them first if I had known that. They just looked so big. I was like, they're gonna be strong. Alright, let's go rest and buy what we need. Bravoka! Okay, so first up, resting at the end. Yes, I would love to stay at the end. Okay, this should allow us to be charged up enough to get all the way to level 10. I mean, we can go to Power Peninsula like they were talking about. If we really want to. I feel like it sounded like it was a low risk, high reward. I mean, opposite. High risk, high reward, actually. What it sounded like. Alright, so white magic, I'm pretty sure... So she already has invisibility. Blindna just cures darkness. I feel like that one's lame. So we're gonna give her Null Shock. And then... she's set. Okay, now we can go buy some things for Homeboy here. So Blizzard, Dark, Temper. Temper we definitely want. And Slow. I feel like Dark was weak, so we want Blizzard for sure. Temper seems dope. And Slow seems pretty good too. That's pretty good increase there. Okay, and then now we'll look at the weapons for everybody. So he has a hammer right now. The broadsword or battle axe or scimitar. So broadsword would give me 15 attack, 10 accuracy. Battle axe is that's more damage by 1 point, but much lower accuracy. So I'm gonna go with the broadsword. So rapier. Oh, I see. It wasn't that he had it equipped. It would have been strong. So 6 more attack, 5 more accuracy. That's good. It's even more accurate than the rapier. So now if you look at this, it's technically 1 point stronger. But it's so much less accurate. I feel like it's not worth it. I'm not picking it. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but I feel like 1 point of attack compares 5 or 10 points of accuracy. Nah, cuz. Alright, so he has the leather armor already. We all have the gloves on. He already has the shield. He's already wearing the chainmail. So he's going to upgrade to iron armor to give himself even more defense, which is not necessarily necessary right now, but it is necessary later. So I'll drop 8 points of evasion to gain 9 points of defense. I feel like that's, for his stat, that's fine. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now we are, let's go ahead and save state that bad boy. And let's go ahead and look at what the state of the mobile phone version of the game. So, in March of 2004, so for a frame of reference, this is actually before Dawn of Souls came out. I actually bought this. I paid the $4.99 and bought this version of the game. I have this on my phone, and I just would play it for fun while I watch shows. So they fixed most of the bugs from the NES version. So for the crit bug, oh, but they did not fix the crit bug. So the crit bug is still existing, and the Peninsula of Power, which we have right here, is not fixed either. So that might be fixed. They further tweaked the script. You can now carry, you have no need to manage your inventory. We can now carry everything. There's now a quick save. You can option, you can now toggle dashing and the memory targeting. Some enemies have been rearranged, and the mobs can be earlier, and the chaos boss is now twice as hard, twice as HP. Knight and Ninja no longer have spells capped at 4, so they basically get more magic. That's cool. There was a game called the 15 Puzzle Mini Game. Couldn't use it. What is that? 15 Puzzle is a secret mini game. Oh, that's this one. Oh, let's actually try it. If you press X and circle together 22 times, it will open up this. That's cool. That will give you up to 10,000 gil. Dawn of Souls in the 20th anniversary edition. Mega Elixir. Hermes shoes. Spider's Silk? Red Fang? What the heck? And you also gain some. So if you can get it in 30 seconds or less, the player must organize 15 squares into numerical order. If you can get 30 seconds or less, you get first. If you do the puzzle, once you get to the Pixel Remaster, there's no prizes. Interesting. So in the phone version, though, you couldn't do this. So would this be game breaking if we did it? Because we're playing the 20th anniversary version. We could get a Mega Elixir. What does Hermes' shoes do? It just casts haste on you. Okay. So it's not like, I just want to make sure none of these are like game breaking. Spider's Silk. Slows. Yeah, so these are just items that you can be used. All of these are just items that can be used to like either buff yourself or hurt the enemy. Yeah, cast Null Frost. Okay, so they're not game breaking. And it just gives you 100 gil. Alright, let's see if we can do it. Let's try it out in just a second. The sound effects are absent from the game. The music is a non-looping MIDI. The boss battle themes are absent. Okay, so a lot of the music was dropped. Combination of the Game Boy and NES versions, but retaining the map and dungeon of the original NES. High potions, Phoenix Downs and stuff are not in the game. And no bonus content. So no bestiary, anything like that. So the one I played on my phone is like that. We're getting very, very 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pixel remaster. I guess 8, 9, and 10. So still 8, 10 versions, but a lot of them are very incremental. We're going to look at the PSP version. This is the one we're actually playing right now. We'll look at that next time. Let's try this. Do we have to be on the world map? It says Square Enix. Maybe you have to be on the actual map to make it work. It says X and circle 22 times. Maybe you have to be on the ship. Because I just feel like I did that. Oh, we immediately get into a fight. With a bunch of wolves. Why would you go right for the black mage, you piece of... Why would you do... I don't think you're allowed to do that. Stupid wolves. Yeah, take that, you dum-dum. You ding-dong. Does that count as sissy cussing? If I call him a ding-dong? What do you guys think? Okay. I mean, I guess it wasn't nothing. It was 36. Alright, so let's try. Okay, no, it didn't work. Let's try this. Maybe I have to be here. What is this minigame thing? The 15 puzzle. Okay. Press X and circle together 22 times. Oh, X and circle. What is my controls? Maybe I'm hitting the wrong two. Okay. X is circle. No, I was hitting the right two. There you go, it did it. Wait. Alright. What are you supposed to do? Oh, I see. I want to get this. Oh, man. How are you supposed to do this in 20 seconds? Jeez. There's no freaking way. Okay. I mean, whatever. I don't need all those items anyway. I don't need them anyway. Okay. Alright. I need to get that one over. Okay, what if we... Oh. Okay, I think you could cycle that one through. Oh. I'm terrible. Uh-huh. Oh. Come on. Yeah, we need to get that over. Bummer. Okay. I'm sure there is a strategy that I am not thinking about right now. Like if you maybe clear out some areas for some other stuff. Yeah, you gotta get that out of the way. Gotta get that 12 out of there. Okay. Yeah, so that's a good row up there now. Okay. Okay, so what do I need to do here? Yeah, we gotta drop that guy. Somehow that has gotta get dropped. Dang it. Because that should go right there. Oh, there is no spot right there, so that has to be your final spot. This has to get dropped down in this row. Really don't know. Gotta get that one out of there. Okay. $11, $12, $13, $14, $15. So 11 actually has to be up here. Okay, gotta get that guy out of there. Okay. Yeah, that's at least okay for now. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that 10 has got to get out of there. Okay, so we're close. Alright, so now it's just the order minus this. Okay, so if I could get the order fixed, we at least have them all in the right rows. Okay. Okay. Gotta get that. That's trash. I'm moving this too far over. Okay. Oh. It's useless. I'm sure this is the dumbest thing that I've ever spent time on. That's actually not true. I'm sure I've spent it on worse things than that. Alright, so I need to get 11 out of that hole. Let's try working from the bottom, maybe. Oh my gosh. The 4 is... so buried. Alright, how do you... Let's try it. I'm gonna try it again. Okay. Alright, so... not sure here. Perfect strategy. I mean, I guess if you want to just sort of get everything into the right position, maybe that should be your strategy. Okay, so like that's one. So now if we can just work everything else and not touch that, maybe we can get our stuff up there. It just makes it to where you are going to slowly be more and more restricted by what you can do. Okay? So now we need to get 4 up into this other position. So maybe that's how we do. We just slowly work our way over. See, then here's where it gets a little tricky because... like, now I'm stuck in a loop right there. So you don't want that, per se. Okay, so that's good. So now I need to get 5 over into this position. Okay. Okay. Okay, and now boom, I've got 6 right there. Okay. Okay. I need to get 8 over into that one. No. So we're in a similar boat to where we just were on the last one. No, that's not. How did we do it? I'm trying to remember how we did it last time. Okay. You basically need to... maybe rotate that in there? See, that doesn't really help. See, it's kind of a broken order. I need to get 5 over there. Okay. Okay, so now I need 6 to be back up in the same position that I'm in right now. Okay. Okay, good. Now I need 7 to be basically where it's at right now. Okay. Now I can rotate that one over. Okay. I need to get 12 out of there. Need 7 to be right there. Okay. Boom. All right. Now I have to get 9 way over there. Okay. I feel like I think I have it now. This has definitely been an example of Lecon is freaking crazy. Oh no, look at this crap. Now I need to have these reorganized. Okay. So 13 has to come over here. Okay, good. Oh. Yeah, we gotta kind of get the order of these correct. So there's 13, 14, 15. Alright, cool. They can kind of cycle-ish out of the way. Oh, can't really mess with that. This is annoying. That would be great. But I screwed it by not having the 9 over here. Okay. Oh, no, now I've got them in the wrong freaking order. Okay. So close. Oh. So stinking close. Man. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we're so close. Nailed it. First time. First time. Only took me 9 minutes. Oh, and it keeps my 30 seconds. I would never be able to do it in 30 seconds unless like I knew like an algorithm. Oh, I got an antidote. So, oops. Alright, so that was the point of that. Alright, cool. That was the mobile phone version. And yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. Where are we at? We're still... My goal is to get to level 8, 10 today. And doesn't seem to be happening. Oh no, we got the stupid... Oh, and we got... Freaking... Well, that's good. His status effects don't seem to be... that effective against the Black Mage. Let's go after them with... Oh. Oh, she can resist it too? Good. So the mages seem to resist that more. Or that could just be like, oh yeah, look at that beefy sword. Okay, so even one hammer strike will do it. Okay, good to know. I don't know what our XP is at and how close we are. We're not gonna gain. We're max. We're now capped out on gear too, so this is as strong as we're gonna get, other than leveling up for a little bit. All right, so I feel like the fighting is just not as good. Are these really the best areas to fight at? Double shark? Okay. I'm going lightning on the shark. Ooh, that one took a 17 hit on me. Nice. Nice. Oh no. I want to attack the other guy. He's the one that's closer to dying. Ah. Alright, Sharky Poo's dead. Ow. Eek. Nice. Okay, we gotta, I guess, heal our... There we go. Okay, Gleeman gained a little bit of HP and agility, so maybe he'll be up to 3 hits now. Stamina, so he's tougher. Glee Khan gained a smidge of HP. That's it. Gleezy gained a smidge of HP, smidge of MP, and Gleebo gained 1 HP, but a decent amount of MP. That was a very minuscule level. I don't like it. Okay, let's do a cure on him. Okay, so we are now going to... I'll go a little long today because it's a day off. But we'll look at... I do want to get to level 10. What was I going to look at? Okay, so looking at the monk or master, aka the black belt, who originally looked like just a little karate man with a helmet and then just got a little bit more tall when he was buffed out. Whereas the monk, he looked like a cool ripped dude, and then he gets like bald. Poor dude. He gets a cape and he gets bald when he becomes a master. They're the most unique class as all. They are as good at fighting as a warrior, but they have terrible defense. They can do the most damage in the game with their fists, and they're very cheap because they basically don't use gear. Their lack of armor makes them very inexpensive, but even once they become a master, they never use magic. So they're kind of like a hybrid class, but the only one without magic. High damage, very cheap. They are worse at evading than the knight and thief, but they don't have to wear equipment. So, excuse me. But they're very susceptible to status attacks. They do little damage if the mobs have a high like armor, and they start off pretty weak with life, but they eventually get something. Borderline no upgrade for being a master. They actually have much less magic defense. Believed to be a bug, the monk is the only class then that actually in many ways gets much worse by upgrading them. They have some unique formulas. Their attack with the weapon is basically its attack plus strength divided by 2 plus 1. So a smidge, whereas your attack is your level times 2 times double of your critical rate. It's the same thing as your level times 2. Twice as many hits. So at level 50, he'll have a 100%. Oh, and I see the critical rate is level times 2. He'll have 100 attack with 100% crit. His absorb is equal to his level. If he has anything equipped for defense, then he drops into regular absorb. Okay, so the one we're playing, it is stamp plus 1 times 3 divided by 4 is his monk attack, and his master attack just twice as many hits. Unlike the older versions, equipment slots will contribute to the monk and master's defense stat. So you have to do the math, but again, we're not doing it. Dramatic nuances, much improved defense and magic resistance. Stam is now the monk's most important stat. It matters more than everything else combined because it factors into their defense now and even their attack. Monks are unique in that they gain empty-handed fighting ability. Therefore, they're best equipped the nunchuck early, but by the time they get to around 8 or 9, there's no point to use anything. Yeah, it says that it's tricky to give them no armor, but their armor is so weak, it's a razor's edge. The major advantage is it costs nothing. It's basically free. The master's a good second slot. Yeah, Yeah, since the master's damage increases, blah blah blah. No, wear a ribbon, diamond armlet. Use the Zeus gauntlet as an item, but don't wear anything and wear a protection ring. The Masamune would only slow him down. Yeah. His inability to hit multiple enemies at once is his major weakness. So basically, he is A tier damage, and his accuracy, endurance, and hit points are actually solid, a B. He has a C in luck, and then everything else, strength, agility, intelligence, evasion, they're all D tier, and then magic is not even F, it's nothing, because he just can't use it. All right, so there are also two types of magic, white and black, and we're going to talk about the three types of magicians next time. So these were we were just discussing the different fighters: warrior knight, thief ninja, monk master, and then we'll get into the magicians next time. Not next time, but maybe next time. For level 9, we got to get to level 10. We have a XP. Can we look and see? So we would need about 386 XP. So let's see if we can grind out some of this XP. Jeez Louise. Okay, we got ambushed by an army of Sahuagin. Don't love that. Ugh. Gross. At least I'm tanking it all. Okay, I'm gonna have him start thundering. Ow. Jerks. Ow. Why? Why are you shredding us? They get to go, they're just so fast, I hate that. But even as we level up, they're just faster than us. Okay, so took out one of the chiefs. You didn't kill him. And they just get to go first every time. I hate you guys. All of them went first. Luckily, he tanked them. Okay, took down a Sahuagin. Took down a couple Sahagins. There, Chief is dead. Good job missing, Black Mage. Way to keep it up. Alright, now we're slight. Ooh. Okay. Down to 1, and I think he still gets to go. There you go, 6 damage. Good job, buddy. Okay. So that's 90, so we're down to around 300 XP needed still. Not too shabby. Okay, and we get a 5-pack. I should heal the... Ooh. Definitely gonna heal Gleekon after this one. Okay, took down one Sahuagin. She hammered one. Okay, lightning. I mean, he's basically like as effective as they are, but he costs magic points to do it. I hate that. As of right now, I mean, like, maybe he's a smidge more effective. 15%. That was 37 XP. So that brings us to like maybe about 260 needed. Yeah, let's go ahead and heal her. Oh, I was using the... What was it? Yeah, the thief could use it. Okay, also let's take a peek at this. For the PSP version, that's the one we're playing now. That came out 20th, it's also known as the 20th anniversary edition, came out in 07. It retained the motion videos, gave the updated logo, which is this one. The sprites are more detailed. You get more aerial effects like clouds, so that was cool. I did notice that. The defend has been added, and now you can skip cutscenes. Cool. The music from the Origins version and the has been retained, and they replaced the boss theme to go back and match the original ones. So, for instance, the Hellfire Chasm. Oh, I see. Which gives you bosses from Final Fantasy IV will now give you that music from Final Fantasy IV. They also added the new Labyrinth of Time, which we will be fighting at the very end. There's an art gallery, so now we can actually access the art gallery. The full motion video scenes have been updated with the new logo. And the Fang items, red, blue, and white, now use fixed intelligence instead of the user's intelligence. So early on, they're much more powerful. Later on in the game, nah. So not that much difference other than that dungeon, which does matter for us. Okay. So what did I say? We need about 260 more XP. Okay. And when it's all done, we will rest, and that will be what we do for next time. We'll kind of set off on our next adventure next time. And, you know, this is part of the experience, honestly, of all Final Fantasy games, but particularly of the earlier ones. The grinding is not built in. Like, it's kind of an open world game for grinding. And then you go do these little parts, and you try to follow these clues. And really, the grinding would have been built in for the exploration. We just get to kind of choose to do it. So another 37, so we'll call it 30. So we're at 230 needed XP. Just say, oh, that's old. Oh, Buccaneers, we haven't fought these guys yet. Cool. They look like crappy versions of the pirates we fought. Okay, they're not that strong. Yes, great. Nice, a crit. You did. Okay, so we're at about a flat 200. Let's take a peek at the next class also. So red wizards, they're supposed to be versatile, black and white. They're useful in healing and wounding. They can also use different swords and some light armor. So they're kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none. And the change in the way they look is very minimal. When they become wizards, their hat gets a tiny bit more flourish. Before, now it looks the same. They look like they just get a little bit of metal armor, and their cape is a little bit more impactful. Okay, they can use almost all levels 1 through 7 white and black magic. They just can't use 8 or 9. They can use pretty much all warrior weapons until the very end of the game. They are much better on defense than any of the other wizards, about the same toughness as a ninja, but with better magic resistance. The few of the best things in the game are denied to them, and some of the better lower level ones too. They get less magic point than mages, less HP than fighters. You have to buy spells and equipment, so they're expensive. I don't care about that. And they gain access to the new ranks of spells slower. The level, once they become wizards, pretty much all 1 to 5 level spells become less restricted. And in Dawn of Souls, they had their HP cut in half. It used to be basically what a knight's HP was. So at the very beginning, they're basically as strong as a warrior and can use magic. So they're really OP, but as you progress, they're restricted from using a lot of the spells. There will be more and more items they can't use. So eventually they're going to fall behind the toughest They can make several they can make suitable substitutions for that kind of hybrid character. But they'll never be quite as good at healing as a white wizard or as tough as a warrior. So they can't really sub those guys out. But their offensive magic is pretty much as good as a mage. Masamune is a great weapon to throw on them. With the ribbon, diamond armor, and protect cloak and protect ring. And because of that, they have this. The defender is another good option. Second strongest sword in the game, and it can cast blink, giving it a full 80 points of evasion. By the time you reach the penultimate floor of the Temple of Fiends, they should be using the Masamune. The ribbon, obviously, should be for everybody, basically. The diamond armlet. So you should, yeah, you can use the protect cloak on your if you don't have other mages. Yeah, so let him hold the Zeus gauntlet. Yeah, so it's just basically, we don't really have ones, so I'm not really kind of focusing on that. That's one of the 2 classes we didn't pick. So I'm kind of glossing over what the in-game gear would be, but he'd be a good candidate for the Masamune. I think I'll probably end up giving it to our ninja. Alright, we need about 200 XP, guys. Oh, there we go. This will be good on the XP. Not good on the attacks. 5 attacks. 6 attacks. Yikes. Okay. She's gonna go on the cure. Ow. Ooh, he's taking some big hits. Live, live, live. Why are they all so slow? Oh, thank goodness. There you go, finally. Come on. Jeez Louise. Okay, so we took down one of the chiefs. Will you die from that, buddy? Oh. Oh. Okay. She needs to cure... I guess the thief. Yeah, my tank guy is going to be out. Alright, so the chief is now out of the picture. Thank goodness, she's getting a little bit there. She took a hit, but... Okay. One of the Sahagins is gone. Okay, I think we're okay now. We're good. He can heal the rest after the fight. We'll get at least 1 round. Oh. Bro. What is up? What? These guys in their high agility. I do leave a lot of damage on the cutting room floor by the way that I strategize. They just really went after the thief this time. My tank did not do a lot of good tanking. Alright, so 97 XP, we're basically down to 100 XP. Let's have her do some healing. Let's give him another one. Okay. Oh, I didn't need to heal him. Get one more. Okay, let's go ahead and look at one more thing here. Just the Wii Virtual Console. So there was originally, I don't have, it's kind of like the Virtual Console and the retro games. I wonder if they have it on Switch. But it was discontinued because I don't think Wii Virtual Console exists anymore. It's the original Famicom or original English versions. It's not available on 3DS outside of Japan or Wii U. So on Wii U and 3DS, you could get it if you're in Japan. Otherwise, it's just Wii if you are in US. All versions kind of took some flashing down. I noticed we have some of that here. And it used the revised name for Evil Eye, Death Eye, and the No Titty Medusas. Oh, it used the uncensored versions. They put the titties back in. Okay. And maybe it says they use the revised name, so that's whatever. Okay. They're like, you know what? I'm tired of these woke no titty having Medusas. We're putting them back in the game. You know, they've been out of the game for 20, 30 years, but that's got to change. Oh, want her to attack the Evil Eye. We can't be having that. Alright. After they did their attack, you so-and-so. Now you're dead. So 14 is enough damage to take them down. I can't believe my... Oh, good. So they are kind of weak on life. This 25 HP, XP. So we're down to needing 75 more. That could happen in 2 fights against regular Sahuagin packs. Or it could happen in one big... Oh, this one, I don't know. Yeah, we'll go... See if they can get... Okay, so we dodged. He took a hit. The 3 of them have gotten to go. 4 of them got to go. All 5 Sahagins get to go first. Then my rogue. My thief. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna put magic on him. Why not? Wake up. Still paralyzed. His name is Paralysis. Ugh. How do you like that? Lightning on your head, you stupid Sahuagin. Since my warrior is out, I needed that extra. Okay. Still, come on, wake up. Ouch. I don't know how much those death cases really give us. So. Okay, so we're down to about 25-ish HP. XP, I mean, needed. Alright, we'll do one more. We need any more healing. No, we're good. Alright, we'll do this fight should be our last one unless I did my math wrong and I just doubled up. I think we're gonna be okay. Then we'll I think I'll probably save white and black mage to look at next time, but we could look at we might not. Maybe get rid of looking at is that next version we have? Yeah, if you look at this, the PlayStation Network version. 2 versions of Final Fantasy were re-released digitally on PlayStation Network in 2009. Final Fantasy Origins for PSP, PS3, and the Vita, and the Anniversary Edition came out for just PSP and Vita. That's it. So it's just re-releases. When PlayStation Network came out, they just re-released some crap. They didn't actually, like, do anything to the games. So that was a version, I guess. And I think a lot of other... Once we have the Pixel Remaster, that will really kind of end it. And then after that, it's just going to be different changes made. Or not, just probably different versions released. So on our next episode, we'll probably get done looking at all that stuff. I did go a little long today, but wanted to take advantage of this day off. Earlier record time. He got my thief. Jerk. I don't think it's really worth it to have the thief. To like have everybody go after the big eyes first. Heck. I can't hit him anyway. There we go. Gleeman, 30 HP. Strength increase, so his do more damage, and luck, so he can run better. Glee Khan, 22 HP, and that's not nothing. Strength increase, so greater damage. Intelligence for when he becomes a ninja. Luck, he can run away better. Gleezy, nice, 29 HP. He's going to be close to having more than the Thief. 15 magic points is a good boost. And Glebo, 1 HP. 17 more MP. Strength, so his rod finally does a pinch more. And agility, he'll go a smidge faster. And his intelligence, so he'll do more damage with that magic. And he's tougher. And he's better at running, so it's a good level up minus the HP for Glebo. Alright, so we're going to stay at the inn, and that's going to be where we log for today. And next time we will look up, we'll talk about the different classes, the mages, and the white mage and black mage. Look, we have an extra 2,000 gold saved up, Gil. And we're going to move to the next part of the world. We might finish talking about the different versions of Final Fantasy 1, which will start to increase some of our streamlining. Okay, we're going to save. We're going to do a save state here. We're also going to save the game. Perfect. And just for S's and G's, our next thing that we're going to do is called the Prince of Elfland. So that is our next goal. So if you look, there is a base, Mount Duergar. That's some Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So there's a dock up here and a dock down there. And it looks like we're going to be heading to the Elven Castle, which is maybe right there. Okay, so the Elven Castle in Elfheim. So we're going to be heading down. Both Elfheim and the Elven Castle are accessible from the overworld. And we'll read a little bit more about what we need. So we'll have to go, I think it's going to be down there. Is my guess. And we'll kind of eventually have to go to the Marsh Cave and fight our way through that Marsh Cave. I don't know what Western Keep is. It says return to Western Keep. I don't know what that is. You look at the map here. You have a dock here. So that could take us to the town in the Elfland. And if we travel around by foot, we could make our way up to this cave. We also have a dock over here that could take us to this cave. And whatever that is. So, not... Dang it. I messed the guy up. So, it says there's Marsh Cave. I see. Another castle is this one to the northwest. So we can kind of peek at some of this stuff. I guess actually that might be that right there. And then this is probably Marsh Cave up there. So then we go to the Marsh Cave. We'll fight our way through that. Then go back to the Western Keep. And it looks like there's a boss, which will allow us to go back and get the crystal, revive the prince, and then that will send us into Mount Duergar, which Mount Duergar I think is actually like a little dwarf town. So somewhere in there, there's a little dwarf cave too. Just don't know exactly where. Off to the side somewhere. So that's cool. And that will be the end of this, and we'll go work on getting the first crystal. So the first one will be the Crystal of Earth. Strong. All right, guys, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and tuning in to another episode of Lore of Final Fantasy. I'll drop some more lore videos later today for the Warcraft universe. And tomorrow we will finally get our Seal of Ascension by taking on Ember Strife. Thanks, guys. This episode's in the pipe. 5x5.